Care Business Associate Training, or CBAT as it's known, was born out of the brainchild of our founder and CEO, Paul Blaine. Paul's background has been within care most of his life. He's been a care worker since he was 17 and quickly rose up to be one of the UK's youngest care managers by the age of 21. After a few successful years at the head of the small group of residential care homes for the elderly, Paul went on to become Director of Operations for a national domiciliary provider. And at 27, he took on the role of Managing Director and then owner of SVL Care, which comprised of care homes, as well as beginning his career in education as a senior lecturer. So if we speed up a couple of years, and is now the ripe age of 47, he is now our CEO of Care Business Associate Training, which is one of the largest education providers in health and social care. Care Business Associate Training was set up 8 years ago, and Paul wanted to combine his love of education with his love of the care sector, and so created Care Business Associate Training. Bit of a funny story for you there. Originally, it used to be called CBA Training, and it was highlighted to us that that kind of stood for can't be bleep bleep training, and we are totally the opposite. So we very quickly changed our name to CBAT, or Care Business Associate Training. So 8 years old, and we support about 350 freelance associate trainers up and down the country, who are all kind of subject matter experts. We work with people with leadership and management, adults, children and young people, or nursing settings. So we have healthcare. So every single avenue of health and social care, and CBAT are generally delivering something within that sector. We've probably on average got about 400 courses that we deliver, and roughly between 20 and 30 training courses every weekday, Monday through to Friday, just to give you an idea as to the scope of what we are doing. So Paul set this up as a one-man band above the care home that his mum and dad owned at the time, and we've since moved to Southport a couple of years ago, which is where we are now based, and we are running out of here very successfully. We were very proud last year to be the Workplace Development finalist and winner of the National Care Awards, Social Care Awards. So that was very, very exciting last year. It was always Paul's dream to be the #1 training provider in health and social care, and that award was very much a recognition of the work that he'd been doing over the years. You'll hear a bit from Paul in different webinars that we are doing. He set up and created what was known as e-competency, that was a gaming type app for basically competency assessing, and you would go into a care home and you'd be able to see what different hazards there might be around, and it would ask you different questions. A couple of years down the road, and he has now set up Confident Competence, which is a competency app, but I'm sure in the future Paul will continue to be his entrepreneurial self, and no doubt he will have created something else for the health and social care industry. So Care Business Associate Training have 5 core values that we very much believe in. They are commitment, caring, innovation, trust and resilience. So from a commitment side, we're dedicated to fulfilling your training needs, no matter the size of your setting, with a budget that works for you. And in another different webinar, I'm going to be talking about the training reviews that we have been doing with organisations, where we have been looking at all of aspects of your training, e-learning, face-to-face, and looking at how we can help hone your budgets to make sure that they are getting you best for your buck, if you will, particularly in an environment where a lot of employers are getting hit with the national insurance uplifts and different things. So we like to work with organisations, and we are committed to making sure that, be a single provider or a huge national organisation, we will work with those organisations. Equally, we bespoke those courses that go into there in order for it to align with policies and procedures of that organisation as well. So we work very closely with our clients in making sure that we are fulfilling their training needs. We are a caring organisation by nature. So I've already explained to you Paul's caring background in the industry. My background is very similar, but with the other age of the spectrum. And I came to Care Business Associate training about 7 years ago, and I'm luckily now to be in the position of managing director, but on the back of a very positive career working with children and young people predominantly. So we kind of got the adult side of the organisation, and we've got the children's side of the organisation as well. So again, because we've built it's been built by industry care specialists. So you're getting that, whether it's older people, younger people, and everybody in between. So as our nature is caring, we really, really do make sure that from start to finish, right before that course has already been delivered, that we're going in there knowing the organisation's vision, mission, what they're trying to get across to their staff. And then we're making courses interactive and engaging, and we want people to really enjoy coming on training as opposed to thinking it's just a tick box exercise. Training is never a tick box exercise for us, and we always want to make sure that your teams are getting the best enjoyment out of it. At the same time, innovation is very much at the heart of what we do. We will use interaction and engagement in different ways, and we're happy to try new things in order to make sure that we keep up with the trends within the market and making sure that training is exciting. The last thing we want is people going, oh, I've got to go on training. We want people to go, do you know what, that was the best training I've been on. And you only have to look at our feedback and our Trustpilot reviews to know that is how not only just the people who come on our courses, but also the trainers who deliver that, and that they have enjoyed themselves and come away and had a really good time and a good experience. So trust is also very much at the heart of what we do. We very early on wanted to be different. You will not be tied into contracts, because we want people to stay with us because they like the training that we deliver. So we work in a way where it is on a trust basis, and we make it very helpful for people to know that if they needed to cancel a course, that it is a staged payment process as opposed to having to pay for the full amount. So we do try and work with people to make sure that where we can, we'll rearrange a course and be flexible if that's needed. And at the same time, we want people to know that our trainers are quality assured. There's regular quality assurance that goes on. A lot of our courses are highly regulated. So we deliver BuildAT certified training courses, for example, and they are to meet the restraint reduction network training standards. So that is very highly regulated, and we make sure that our trainers are qualified and upskilled and continue to be upskilled in their field for them to be able to deliver it, as one example. Another example, we run Institute for Leadership and Management leadership courses, and again, they are highly regulated by City and Guilds, so we need to make sure that as a centre we have that quality assurance in place, so that the trainer that is in front of you or in front of your team is the best in their field and delivering high quality training. And we want you to be able to trust us to do that. And at the same time, if there are any issues, we want you to be able to trust us that we will deal with them quickly and efficiently for you. At the same time, we are resilient, and resilience has to be at the heart of any kind of care businesses, particularly in the current climate. We know it is an evolving sector. Before lockdown, I didn't know what Zoom was, and then I had to learn very quickly what it was. So again, we kind of, we decided that we were going to continue delivering training, particularly because the care sector and the healthcare sector were very much under pressure during that time, and as such that they needed to recruit more staff, and those staff needed to be trained properly. So we were able to move with whatever was changing within the government guidelines in order to make sure that training was being risk assessed, and it was about getting high quality training in there, but making sure it was working with the guidelines, because at the same time you can't have people going on to the floor in a care setting if they've not had the appropriate training. We made sure that we were resilient as an organisation to be able to say we will continue delivering training, and we just had to adapt that training. So there are our 5 core values that are very much at the heart of what we do at CBAT. So some of the things that we do really, really exciting training, and we like to, like I said to you before, we like to try different things, we like to experiment with things, we're not afraid to take risks, and we very much are in partnership with the organisations that we support. So I hope that just gives you a little bit of a background as to where CBAT came from, where CBAT is going. Will continue to grow. We've got a fantastic team of trainers that we support. We've got a fantastic head office team that are very passionate and are, very grounded to our values in order to make sure that we're getting high quality training out. So that just gives you a little bit of a background as to who we are. So thank you for your time.